guest for today is multi-awarded actress and Golden Globe nominee Dolly De Leon. She shares her experience working with an international production team and how her life has changed after the nomination. Hi Dolly, welcome to Stronger Together, the GMA Pinoy TV podcast.
Hi, Tony! So nice to be here.
Congratulations po for your Golden Globes Best Supporting Actress nomination for your role in Triangle of Sadness and for the film winning the 2022 Cannes Film Festival's Palme d'Or.
Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you.
And Miss Dolly, you just had a celebration with the Filipino community after the awarding, and they called it Evening of Gladness. How was it meeting fellow Pinoys in LA?
Ay, sobrang sarap. Grabe sila dito. Yung pagmamahal nila talagang ibang level. I felt the love from each and every person that I met, and it was a house full of talented people. So it was such an honor to spend so much time with them.
What were you doing and where were you when you found out that you were nominated?
I was actually at a restaurant having dinner, and kasama ko doon yung yung designer ko for last year nung nag-States ako. Tapos I found out through him dahil nag-text sa kanya yung taga Hollywood Foreign Press para sabihin nga na ako. Tapos parang tanga lang ako doon, tumatalon-talon akong parang bata. Tapos mamaya-maya biglang ayan na, lumuluha na ako. Umiiyak na ako. So, kakaiba. Nag-order sila ng champagne, tapos uminom kami ng konti, mga tigi-isang baso, ganyan. Iba yung feeling, grabe. Napaka-overwhelming talaga.
How did you get the role?
Nag-audition ako. Ang ka-eksena ko doon yung casting director, 2018 yun. 2019, naka-Skype ko yung director, si Ruben Ostlund. Tapos, nalaman ko lang recently, sinabi niya sa akin na akin na pala yung role, pero hindi lang kami nagkaintindihan. So, nalaman ko lang talaga formally, mga after a few weeks later, nakatanggap ako ng email na yun nga, ako na. Tapos, nag-shoot kami, naghintay pa ako ng 2 taon bago kami nag-shoot. 2020 kami nag-shoot. Kasagsagan ng pandemya noon. Yun, and then so it was really a long wait until this moment. Siguro 4 years na nang hintay namin lahat.
Pero when you were auditioning for the part, did you have an idea how big it's going to be?
I didn't really know na magiging ganito siya kalaki, pero I did have an idea na it was going to be a big deal. Kasi unang-una sa lahat, it's Ruben Ostlund talaga. So, nanalo na siya ng Palme d'Or before this eh. So, alam ko na auteur siya. Kumbaga, he's a reputable director. So, I already knew. Reading the script, alam ko na pivotal talaga yung character na Abigail na ginampanan natin. So, doon pa lang alam ko na medyo big deal siya. Alam ko rin na magka-Cannes dahil yun talaga ang kalakaran ni Ruben Ostlund ever since. Kailangan ang premiere niya laging Cannes. Para sa kanya, Cannes is the most prestigious film festival. Kailangan dun niya muna ipalabas yun. So, I knew that. Pero hindi ko akalain na aabot sa level na aabot sa Amerika, aabot sa ganito. Ang akala ko lang na mapapanood ng mga kababayan natin dyan sa Pilipinas, mapapakita ko siguro kung ano talaga yung kaya kong i-offer. Yung sa ganang scope lang, pero hindi yung ganitong kalaki na umapak ako ba naman doon sa Golden Globes? Akalain mo yun? So, nakakagulat.
How was it working with an international production team for this project?
Very, very, very different. First of all, yung pre-prod pa lang matindi na. Pinag-uusapan na namin yung look, pinag-uusapan na namin yung draft ng script. Maraming draft eh. Parang by the time na nag-film kami, naka-draft 76 na ata kami, parang ganung level. Tapos pagdating ko dun sa Sweden para mag-shoot, hindi kami nag-shoot agad. May look test muna. Kasi sa Pilipinas, hindi ko naman na-experience yung dati, yung may look test. Basta darating na lang ako sa set. Dala ko pa yung sarili kong costume. Mga ganyan, dala ko yung sarili kong damit. Dito hindi, lahat provided. Pati underwear, provided nila lahat. Grabe, sobra. Tapos, yung pre-planning talaga nandun kompleto. Yun nga, may look test, may makeup test, costume look, ganyan. And then, pagdating doon, may rehearsal muna bago mag-film the next day. So every day nagre-rehearse kami para dun sa eksenang gagawin the next day, na matinding rehearsal talaga. Hinihimay namin yung script kasama yung director. Tapos on time lagi. Pag sinabing grind gantong oras, yun ang oras ng grind. Pag sinabing gantong oras matatapos, ganitong oras matatapos. Hindi kami lumalampas ng 14 hours. Hindi talaga nangyayari yun. Tapos ang ginagawa nila, lahat ng mga night scenes, sinushoot talaga nila sa gabi. So ang tawag doon late call. So late kami kinocall, matatapos kami umaga. Pero the whole day, the next day, nakakapahinga kami. Well, obviously, yung pagkain, free-flowing, the whole day, may food lang doon. Anytime, pwede ka lang kumuha ng anything. May lamesa na punong-puno ng pagkain, pati yung kape, mahilig na mahilig ako sa kape. So, barista levels yung ko doon. Yung filming process, talagang everything is planned. Kasi may tinatawag na call sheet, no? Yung call sheet, ang laman nun, yung kung ano yung mga gagawin na eksena. Pag nakakatanggap kami ng call sheet doon, pati yung framing ng bawat eksena nandun. May picture kung paano yung framing. So, may idea ka na talaga kung paano nila i-film yung eksena. So, napaplano mo ng mabuti yung araw mo.
Prepared, no? Before you shoot, as in, nandoon talaga na alam mo rin, and even ikaw as an actor, alam mo na what to expect or what will be expected from you.
Yeah, walang bulagaan. Walang bulagaan talagang, wala kang excuse. Kung mag-fail ka, may problema na sa'yo. Kasi fully prepared ang production eh. Tsaka, ang pinakamalaking difference is, sa film set sa Pilipinas, ang halatang-halata yung hierarchy ng position. Like, may producer, director, tapos nandyan yung crew, tapos pababa ng pababa yung levels. Doon hindi, pantay-pantay lahat. Of course, yung director, siya yung kapitan, siya yung nasusunod, pero nagre-refer din siya sa buong crew. Lahat ng input ng lahat ng tao, kinoconsider niya, nakikipag-collaborate siya sa bawat isang tao, ultimo gaffer, nire-respeto at tinatrato na peers kayong lahat, peers. Walang utusan, walang alalay, wala, pantay-pantay lahat.
So lahat kayo hands-on sa project?
Lahat hands-on. So may ownership ka talaga ng project. Mararamdaman mo talaga na sa'yo yun kasi they really make you feel that dahil pati yung collaboration ng gagaling sa aming lahat hindi lang sa iisang tao, which is usually the director.
So you did have a say in terms of how you're going to do your role? Or how you're gonna attack a certain scene.
Right. And yung director namin, siya mismo yung magtatanong sa aming lahat kung what do you think? Would you say this? Would this happen? Tapos pwede naming sabihin na, no, I don't think I would say that. I'm not comfortable with that line, yung mga ganon. So, very open siya sa ganon. In fact, may isang eksena na parang hindi ko masyadong ma-reconcile yung kung paano siya gagawin. So, nag-request pa ako sa kanya ng meeting na tinanong ko siya, sabi ko, I'm not comfortable doing this scene this way. Can we do it differently this way? And sabi niya, okay, yeah. Ganun siya. So, sarap. Ang sarap niya katrabaho. Talagang feeling mo, you have a stake at the whole project as well na you're not just there to take orders. You're there in a partnership.
How was it working with your other co-actors?
Sarap! We were a family there. We were all friends. Until now, we're still very close. Kasi kumbaga, nasa isang isla kami ng ilang linggo, halos 2 buwan kami nandun. So, lagi kami magkasama at lagi kaming nag-uusap tungkol sa passion namin. Alam niya, tungkol sa trabaho natin, ganyan-ganyan. So, and always talking about the scene, kung ano sa tingin namin yung pinaka-okay para gawin sa eksena. So yeah, we had a lot of time to really know each other and, build a relationship and build a bond that is very strong.
Let's talk a little bit about your role, Miss Dali, no? How can you relate to your character, Abigail?
Meron siyang courage at meron siyang tapang, lakas ng loob na hindi ko ever ma-imagine na kaya kong ma-achieve kung nandun ako sa ganung klaseng sitwasyon. And yun ang fun part about being an actor. You get to play parts that, you can only dream to be like. So, matapang siya, resilient, at saka meron siyang initiative. She takes it upon herself to step up and to be, to take control of a situation. Whereas ako, I'm not like that at all. I'm really a shy person. I'm introverted. And ayoko ng gulo as much as possible. Ayoko ng conflict as much as possible. Pero siya, nagsastir siya ng conflict. Siya yung nagkakos ng, unease among people. So yun, dun kami nagkaiba.
What has changed in terms of your career after all of this?
A lot has changed. Mostly people have changed. People around me have changed. I would say the huge difference definitely is now I have been given a choice, which I never had before. I never had a choice in choosing what I do, choosing who to work with, choosing a script, choosing how much to get paid. Now I have a choice. And to me, that's the most valuable change, that I'm able to use God's gift to us as humans is the freedom of choice. Yun yung biggest change talaga.
At saka yung validation, di ba, no, Ms. Dali? Ito talaga yung validation na tama yung decision nyo to stick with it and to go with your passion.
I guess, yeah, yung validation din, yung validation mostly coming from prestigious award-giving bodies, more of that. Kasi, to be fair naman, kahit naman na medyo nahirapan ako bilang aktor sa Pilipinas, nakakatanggap naman tayo ng validation, marunong naman magpakita ng gratitude yung mga filmmakers natin sa Pilipinas. So, meron naman. Hindi naman yun nawala ever. Pero ibang level of validation.
Kapuso, subscribe to GMA Pinoy TV and feel closer to home with our all-time favorite shows. Itbulaga, Bubble Gang, 24 Oras, and Kapuso Mo Jessica Soho. You can also enjoy award-winning news programs, documentaries, lifestyle shows, and many more on GMA Live TV and GMA News TV. GMA channels are available in the U.S. through various pay TV providers. To know more, visit gmapinoytv.com/subscribe or follow us at GMA Pinoy TV on social media. The past 2 years have been the time we spent making, baking, planting, renovating, laughing, adding, and trying. But no matter what life throws at us, there will always be something to lift our spirits and give us sparks of hope. We invite you to tell us your stories with shots and snippets of the things that helped you survive this pandemic. Send your snapshots and stories to PinoyInbox@gmanetwork.com and we'll feature them on our newest inspirational segment, Pockets of Hope, on GMA Pinoy TV.
Welcome back! How did Dolly get into acting? What is her most unforgettable acting scene? Kailan ka nag-start? Paano ka nagsimula sa acting?
Nag-start talaga yun sa college kasi yung course ko theater arts eh. Usually yung mga networks, naghahanap sila ng mga artista sa college namin dahil kailangan nila ng talent or ng extra, ganyan. Doon sila pumupunta para maghanap ng artista. So doon ako nag-start sa mga bit parts, yung mga walang linya, yung naglalakad-lakad ka lang, ganyan. Usually mga role ko, ewan ko, minsan ang role ko kamatis, yung nakamaskot akong ganyan, tapos wala kang linya, yung mga ganon. And then eventually nag-evolve naman siya into may mga lines, pero mostly tawag ko dun mga device. Sila yung device na ginagamit sa mga script para may mapagkwentuhan yung bida. In other words, struggling artist talaga ako. Ilang taon kong binunuyang pag-aarte na kahit na anong trabaho tinatanggap ko. Hindi na ako choosy, hindi ako namimili. Basta open ang schedule ko, available ako. Tara! I took everything seriously. Regardless of kung wala akong linya, may linya, maganda yung role, pangit yung role, lahat yun sineryoso ko. Tsaka, trinato ko na rin siya na parang training ground eh. Ang ginawa ko, in-educate ko lang yung sarili ko. I familiarize myself with working on a film set, paano ba ino-observe ko yung mga veterans. Until umabot dun sa point na ayoko na, nabubuisit na ako dahil yung mga roles ko, lagi na lang ganun, medyo nakakasawa na. Tapos yung bayad, ng liit-liit, ano mo yun? Hirap-hirap naman kumita ng pera, yung mga ganyan. I was at my lowest point actually when I got this audition. But I went anyway. Pumunta ako doon, binigay ko yung 100% ko. As in, ginalingan ko talaga. Kahit na alam kong wala akong kapag-apag-asa. Pero dahil nga alam kong wala akong chance na makuha yon, pinaglaruan ko na lang, in-enjoy ko na lang. Tapos talagang, alam mo yon, I treated it also as another learning experience. Kasi auditioning is a big part of being an actor. You have to really master. It's an art auditioning. So I took it as an opportunity to learn more about myself on how I audition for things like that.
Bata ka pa lang ba? Mahilig ka na talagang umarte?
Nag-start yun actually nung grade 4 ako. 12 years old ako. Meron kaming classroom skit. Magkakapatid kami na may nanay. Tapos yung nanay mamamatay. Yung nanay namin, kaklase rin namin. Tapos nung naglulupasay na yung kaklase namin sa sahig na namamatay, ang eksena, lalapitan namin tapos parang iiyak kami na namatay siya. Konting background lang sa sarili ko. Nung lumalaki ako sa bahay, bawal sa bahay umiyak. Every time na may gagawin akong kasalanan, kunyari may mabasag akong something, magagalit yung nanay ko. Pero once umiyak ako, magagalit siya lalo. Lagi niya akong pagagalitan na, don't cry, gaganon yan, bawal umiyak. Sa eksenang yon, biglang totoong luha na yung lumalabas, tapos umiiyak na ako. Tapos nung natapos yung eksena, ang sarap ng pakiramdam ko, parang ang gaan-gaan ng pakiramdam ko, para akong nabunutan ng tinik. So it felt like a really good release to me. Pero nung time na yun, hindi ko pa alam na pwede namang gawing trabaho yung pag-aartista. Ang akala ko kasi pag nanonood ka ng TV, yung nakikita mong nangyayari doon, nangyayari talaga. Akala ko pwede kang pumasok sa screen tapos sasamahan mo yung mga tao. When I was in high school, and uso naman nung high school, yung mga declamation. Tapos napapanood ko yung mga batchmates ko na nagde-declamation. May isa akong batchmate doon na napakahusay, na champion siya every time nagko-compete siya sa mga inter-school competitions. Lagi siya nananalo. Si Angelina Canape, napakahusay na artista. Sabi ko, I wanna be like her. Yun yung moment na I said, I wanna do that. Gusto kong gawin yan. Pero hindi ko pa rin alam kung paano. Tama-tama, dumating na yung college entrance. Hindi ko alam kung anong course. Pagkita ko sa choices, theater arts, sige nga, subukan natin. Tapos yun na. After that, tuloy-tuloy na, wala na. I'd never look back. And that was it for me. I fell hard talagang and never recovered again from that love I have for theater.
Iba ang actingan sa teatro. Iba ang teatro, iba yung mainstream. Hindi mo ba naisip na tumawid?
Hindi ko naisip na tumawid. Wala talaga sa isip ko yon. Ang nasa isip ko lang mag-theater. Iba kasi yung pakiramdam nung pag umaarte ka sa stage Kasi may dinadaanan na chronological order na journey yung character mo. Tsaka nabibuild mo siya from beginning to end So, may sequential way na pagdadaanan yung character mo. Tsaka yung energy ng audience, kakaiba yun pag nararamdaman mo sila. Compared to pag film or TV, camera yung kaarte mo, hindi mo agad nakukuha yung response ng audience. Sa theater, iba lalo na kung instinctive ka, nararamdaman mo yung mood ng audience, yung energy nila. So, kakaiba yung feeling. Tsaka yung nasusuka ka bago ka umakyat ng stage, yung mga ganong kaba. Pero once nandun ka na, ang sarap ng pakiramdam. Tapos yung proseso ng pagre-rehearse, araw-araw kasama yung co-actors mo tsaka yung director, yung journey of discovering kung ano pa yung pwede mong gawin. Iba siya, ibang-iba yon.
What is your most memorable acting experience?
Siguro yung first ever play ko, di ko talaga makakalimutan. Hanggang ngayon, naaalala ko yung itsura ng set, naaalala ko yung costume ko, naaalala ko lahat. Medyo bad memory na ako wala na ako naaalala halos. Pero yun, I'll never forget. Yung first ever play ko na meron akong isang line lang sa buong play. Comedic yung line ko dun Patawa yung line ko, parang ako yung comic relief. So, I'll never forget that. For every show, laging natatawa yung audience dun sa part na yun. Naglalaba kami sa ilog. Tapos parang sabi nung isang co-actor ko, sabi niya, "Tingnan mo yung suot ng babae, ano ba yan? Parang masyadong sexy or something." Tapos yung line ko, 2 lines lang, "Tigang ka talaga." Yun lang yung line, "Tigang ka talaga." Bentang-benta yun every night. Grabe. Ang sarap-sarap nung pakiramdam na first time ko na-experience yun, yung tumatawa yung audience dahil sa sinabi ko. So, nag-stick yun talaga sa akin.
GMA Pinoy TV Stronger Together music is now available worldwide. Streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and other digital platforms.
You can now use the Stronger Together stickers in your group chats, messages, and stories. Just search Stronger Together on Viber, Telegram, and Instagram stories. For more details, visit GMA Pinoy TV's social media accounts. Download now, Kapuso!
Welcome back. What made Dolly decide to stick with acting, even at times when she wanted to give up? And how does she deal with pressure? 30 years in the business, and you said in one of your interviews that you almost gave up. What kept you going?
I really promised myself na if people don't get me anymore, tama na to. That's it. Yun lang yun. As simple as that. If people don't call, then I'll stop doing this. Kasi 2 trabaho ko nun nagfa-facilitator din ako eh. Kasi ang buhay ko bilang artista noon, hindi ko mabubuhay yung pamilya ko kung yun lang ang trabaho ko. So ang dami kong side hustles, ang dami-dami kong mga ginagawang iba-ibang trabaho. So sabi ko, pag wala nang tumawag, gagawin ko na yung facilitating full-time. Eh, may tumatawag pa rin.
What advice can you give aspiring actors who would want to pursue their passion in acting?
Well, just keep training, keep studying, explore yourself, discover things about yourself, about what you can contribute as an actor. And if you can, write stories, write scripts. Maybe a producer will, appreciate your work and start from there and write with yourself in mind as the actor playing the character. I don't know, maybe that's the way to go. And keep auditioning. Audition lang ng audition. Ang mahirap kasi sa Pilipinas, wala sa kultura natin ng mag-audition masyado eh. Sa Amerika lang naman yung kultura ng pag-audition eh. Pero kailangan natin ilagay yung sarili natin dun sa ganong mindset na just keep auditioning, put yourself out there so that people will see your work. And also master the art of auditioning so that may fail-safe ka na for sure na kahit papano makikita yung trabaho mo doon. At saka tanggap lang ng tanggap. Kahit ano pang trabaho yan, tanggap lang ng tanggap. Take it as a training ground. Take it as a place to learn and to expand your network and to be seen.
What's next po for you?
Salome ni Teng Mangansakan, Duyan ng Magiting ni Dustin Celestino, Itimak Pupukaw ni Carl Papa. Sa Cinemalaya yung dalawang yon, yung Salome sa March lalabas. Tapos meron ding Simula sa Gitna na serye na hindi sa network lalabas, sa streaming platform lalabas.
You are based in Manila, 'di ba? Pero ngayon nandiyan ka sa LA.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. Paano kung biglang may tumawag sa iyo na, "Oh, Dolly, are you interested? Like, do you want to be based here?" Naisip mo na ba yon na talagang mag full-time and to get more international roles? Kumbaga, magre-relocate ka? Has it ever crossed your mind?
Pinag-usapan na namin yan, and ang sinabi ko lang, what's important to me is if I'm going to work here, masama ko yung bunso ko. Kasi my youngest is 10 years old eh. Last year when I was gone for 2 months, pagbalik ko, tumangkad siya, iba na magsalita, iba na yung utak. Nalungkot ako talaga na parang na-miss ko yung 2 months of her life. So ang sabi ko lang sa kanila, as long as I can bring my daughter, homeschool siya, sasama siya sa akin sa set, nandun siya sa green room habang naghihintay habang nagtrabaho ko. That's really what I want. But as far as relocating, I still would like to go back and forth home to the Philippines, keep a home there. If I were to relocate, I would like to relocate somewhere in Europe. Yun ang gusto ko talaga. Kasi I like to live by the countryside, yung alam mo yun, tapos gusto ko magtanim ng gulay, yung ganung life. Tapos to live a quiet life. Ayoko nang tumira sa city. For now, Tony, relocating, it's not a goal. Maybe eventually someday, who knows, baka magbago isip ng hangin. But now, I would still like to travel back and forth home to the Philippines and back here. And if I'll work here, isasama ko yung bunso ko. Para naman ma-enjoy ko yung yung company niya habang lumalaki siya at dinidiscover niya yung mundo.
How many kids do you have po?
I have 4. The 3 are matatanda na, 26, 23, and 22. So, yung bunso ko 10 years old and siya yung kailangan bantayan pa eh. Gusto ko katabi ko siya.
What's their initial reaction when they found out or when you told them that I'm nominated?
Pinagtatawanan lang ako ng mga yan. As in, sobrang...
Nasa consciousness ba nila na, yung mommy namin, Golden Globe nominee, may mga ganun ba? Or hindi?
Wala sa consciousness nila kasi pag may mga nangyayaring mga maliliit na bagay, napapaano sila, ha? Totoo ba to? Alam mo na, yung mga ganun, parang, ha? Totoo ba to, ma? Ano ba ang nangyayari? Mami, mga more of that. Wala pa talaga. Di pa rin nagsisink in rin sa mga bata. Yung daughter ko nga, yung bunso ko tinanong niya ako nung Pasko. Out of nowhere, sabi niya, Mami, are you famous? Sabi ko talaga, why? Sabi ko ganun. So, hindi nagsisink in. Wala. As in, hindi talaga.
Do you feel pressured in a way?
Tony, that's a very good question because I've been asked that question before and my answer was very different before. From May, which is when the film premiered in Cannes, up to November of last year, grabe yung pressure. Kasi nga, I felt like all eyes were on me and parang I felt like I had a responsibility to make everyone happy or something. Pero now, wala na yung pressure. Kasi for me, gusto ko lang i-enjoy itong moment na to at gusto ko lang i-savor lahat ng mga pangyayari. Kasi, Tony, this is temporary. This will not last. So, I want to enjoy it and make the most of it. And putting pressure on myself will not allow me to enjoy this wonderful thing that's happening to us. So, yeah, wala na. Wala na ako dun sa pressure. Wala na. In-enjoy ko na lang.
What you did, what you have achieved, hindi na talaga yun mabubura and permanent na yun. Ikaw na yung magiging icon ngayon ng mga young actors and actresses. Miss Dali.
I guess yun, may konting pressure doon, di ba? Na parang naging role model ako, Eme. Kaya ang ginagawa ko, nagpapakatotoo ako, I talk like this. That's the reality. I'm a human being. Please don't idealize me. There's nothing ideal about me. I'm a very flawed person. So doon pa lang, I'm very out in the open about that. So that's why the pressure is off na.
What lesson have you learned from your personal story?
I've learned not to take myself too seriously. Yun lang yun. Ganun lang kasimple. Just not take myself too seriously. Masyado kasi akong intense dati. Yung parang maliit na bagay, inaano ko, binibig deal ko. Lahat nirereklamo ko. Parang lahat na lang. Ngayon, inisip ko, pagtawanan na lang natin lahat ng mga nangyayari. Don't take myself too seriously. That's not to say na don't take the problem seriously. Of course, you have to. But myself, learn to, just laugh. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep studying, keep learning, and keep reaching for that dream. And it will happen as long as you work hard, you believe in yourself, and put kindness first and work with love all the time.
Thank you, Miss Dali. Congratulations again. And we are so proud of you.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much.
Stronger Together, the GMA Pinoy TV podcast, is an original production of GMA International. This episode is produced by Gerald Vista and edited by Anton Taguidon.